But Black Clover, whew, Thurman, it's been a while.
Yeah, so it's interesting because wow. So first of all, the art in this chapter was godly,
Uh-huh.
uh, extremely godly, and well, I'll have to say it. I'm going to the elephant in the room. Gaja may or may not die. Listen, right? I know everyone's like, "Oh my God, Gaja died." Listen, if he doesn't die, listen, right? He said it himself. He's basically dead. What's happening is that Rill is keeping him alive with pure mana, just because. But remember what Rill said: the pain will come back to you once the spell's over. So once
Yeah.
that spell's over, sorry, God is gonna die.
And Gacha ain't surviving the amount of pain. Yeah.
No, yeah, he literally took his life force just to do a damaging attack to her, right? And so I'm just putting it out there. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that because I know that's the elephant in the room already. But so we're gonna move on to what's important. Nozel getting his revenge? Question mark.
I saw that. I'm like, fuck yes! I want to see this. I want to see this so fucking badly.
Like, my man's over here. Silva team up, bro. Silva team up right now. Like the older bro, these two, right, have a bone to pick with Angelica because they killed her mom, right? So, like, it's interesting because like I've been saying at the beginning when we first started reviewing this, like we knew that this is gonna be a grudge match because Vanica and Angelica are the main reasons why Noel's dead. Noel's mom is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm curious to see how it's gonna work because even with all of them, they're still having issues with her. Like, yeah, they're beating the demons and all that shit, but like Magella just like, haha, psych. And keep in mind, this is her when she's nerfed. Imagine if she actually was summoned.
Yeah, that's terrifying to think about, honestly. I'm sorry, like this here, just this entire scene that we have set up is possibly one of the most hyped things I've read in the last 3 years of manga. Like, hands down. And I'm coming at this from the perspective of I got so goddamn bored with shonen action series, shonen battle series before, picking this up that I thought I was just going to disavow the fucking genre. And coming back to this, I'm hyped every chapter like I used to be for when Dragon Ball Z was airing on fucking Toonami. So this scene here, I would love to see animated. The amount of tension that's in the fucking room. And that Silva family grudge match, I want it so badly. So
yeah, it's it's literally a interesting thing too because everyone's weakened at this point. Like everyone's like breathing heavy.
Right.
So I'm curious to see how they're gonna be able to because they're not gonna be able to kill her.
No.
By the way, can we talk about just how Noelle last chapter was just like sorry, I have to. First of all, best girl Noelle finally admitting that she loves Asta, bro. Finally admitting that.
You're not Dorksta.
And she's like, nope, this is a battlefield that can wait. We have to kill Magelica first.
And then you can clap my cheeks.
She said we have to kill her first. Bro, she didn't say defeat. She didn't say send back. She didn't say stop. She said kill. Bro, that shit, What makes it better too is that was officially translated, so Noelle is out for blood. She's horny, bro, and she's out for blood, bro. That's like, and
horny bloodlust is not a good mix. Okay, that's going to get somebody hurt.
It's so funny because like I'm sorry, I have to say this. I'm so sorry. I have to say this, but the bar for characters has definitely dropped. Specifically, like female characters. Like,
I'm glad you're bringing this up.
listen, right? I love Nobara. I love her, right? She's great character. But I'm sorry, she is not the best female character of all time, like you guys think she is. Okay, like I don't even think Noelle is. But like my thing is though,
Who
like,
out of the newer gen, who would
like,
you think is the best female character? Though I'm genuinely curious.
Like out of the newer gen, I would say like top 3 would be like Noelle. Like I won't even include One Piece, to be honest. I won't include One Piece because that's not fair. Like out of like, so I have to. It's a lot to go into, so I'll put what my criteria is, right? So top 5 to me, Jump only, and it has to be from like the era of 2000. I'm gonna say this current Jump, this current Jump that's running right now. Top 5. And no Kodanasha or anything else like that. Just current.
Oh, I was going to say Maki, but
not Kodanasha stuff. But for me, top 5 in no particular order. Like Noelle's good, Nobuta's good. I want to put Fuko on that list, but
we haven't seen enough development. I don't think
she relies too much on Andy, bro. Like please, bro, that's a whole nother video on itself.
Oh yeah,
I want to like her character. Like I love her unluck ability, but she relies too much on Andy. Like I'm sorry. Like oh my god, please give her something. I was so happy when she got kidnapped. That sounds bad, I know. That sounds bad without context, but
context matters, everyone.
But I was just like, finally, she.
It being a live stream, that can also be clipped.
She admits that yes, I'm useless without Andy. I should be useful by myself. And I'm like, yes, finally. Show me how good of a character you can be without that fucking undead bitch, please. And I was just like, that's what I'm waiting for. I don't think she's a terrible character. I like her drive. I like the fact that she was becoming a badass. Just please be your own person without Andy. That's all I ask for. All right.
And then she does. She could be one of them.
I want to put her on the top 5 list, but I just can't. She needs to break away from Andy first, right? So
we'll see after this arc, right?
Yes, after this arc. So Noelle, Nobita. Honestly, like, I want to say, I want to put what's that girl's name from Yo's fam?
Mutsumi?
Yeah, I want to put her, but I feel like she doesn't have the same issue that Fuko does. But I want to see her do more, if that makes sense. You know, like her personality is good. She's a good character, but she's missing that sweet spot. You know what I mean? Like it feels like I know she has to be protected, and yada yada yada.
I mean that's kind of what led into the story, but
yeah. But at the same time, it feels like
they coddle her.
She doesn't do enough. Like her only role is to be a good wife for Tayo, and I hate saying that because if like the author doesn't make you feel that way, but it feels that way. You know what I mean? Like she and it makes sense why it feels like that because her blood, like literally, like her blood is like extremely rare, and like if someone kidnapped her, they can literally turn it into like a fucking huge fucking experiment, like a Captain America type shit.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like I love her and Tayo's moments when it's slice of life, and I love her moments when she's serious when it comes to her family. But I want to see more from her as a character, right? Like branch away from Tayo a little bit, show us what you can do on your own, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because in that way, I kind of feel for the current new people who get mad at the way some female characters are presented in manga, because I definitely do feel that hatred, but at the same time, like not because one thing that always gets me about the whole thing is the fact that the biggest like criteria for being a good woman character in a manga is not being sexualized and not being a love interest. Like I'm sorry, but that's the bar is not that high.
The fact the bar is that low
Yeah, the bar is that low. You know what I'm
is
saying?
telling.
And that's one of the main reasons why they like Nobra. Like, if you ask someone why they like Nobra, she's a badass. She's not sexualized, and she's not a love interest. But it's just like, okay, that's fine and dandy. But what about her character? Could you say like, because one of the reasons why I like Noelle so much is that like she's still a good character while still having those necessarily negative traits. She's the love interest for Asta, but she still does something. She's fighting villains. Like she's able to get power ups. Like she can stand toe to toe with Asta and You know what I'm saying? So that's how you write a good character for me. Not what they're like, not the fact that they have like a love interest or anything like that or whatever. Like the sexualization part, I understand. We already had our talks about that. I get it. But like why is that such a negative if a heroine is a love interest? Like if they fall in love, like I don't understand. Like, are you saying a woman character can't fall in love? Like,
yeah, that's one that baffles me. Like, everybody falls in love at some point in their life. It shouldn't be an issue for that to be a character trait in the series that's predominantly targeted at teenagers. That's the one that always baffled me. Like, yes, I 100% get that characters have been over-sexualized throughout the years, and we have an entire tag for them in the anime community. But at the same time, like, it's that catch-22. So Luke's wanting to know what you think about the females in Blue Box, and I'll give my top couple of female characters here.
Oh yeah. So let me get back to my thing. I'm sorry, I go off topic a lot. Bear with me. Mental stuff.
Well, I mean, it also works super well for a live stream.
Yeah. So like I'm happy Luke mentioned Blue Boxes. I actually do like the girls in Blue Box. I think they're written very well so far.
I've read a chapter of it on stream.
I like the Flag Girl. I really like what they're doing with her. With her, I think that's great. So like Noelle, let me look at my list of shit, because like there's a lot of female characters that are really good in current Jump right now, but a lot of stuff in Jump is new still. So
yeah, we really have joined the time of it. It's not bad, but not good for the magazine.
I'll put Robocall number 3. I know a lot of you don't like that, but
what blasphemy is this? Kick from call.
Robocall. Because I mean, like, there's.
Dude, I haven't read it, so I can't judge it. So
yeah, Robocall,
I do not like the art.
Yeah. I will say. Mashal doesn't really have good female characters yet. Like,
I mean, it's a Harry Potter clone. Of course it does it.
The main heroine is the literal personification of what Twitter does not like. Just a love interest. So like, I that's the one thing too. I'm just
Mash, please mash my puss.
Other than blush about Mashal, please. Like that. Yeah, I understand that. Like when it comes to my hero, I don't think Araka is as bad as everyone says she is.
She's still not good. She's still not good.
She's like a 6 or 7. Like, she had a really good moment.
The bar was down in the pits of hell, and you rose one rung above that.
Yeah, like, it's so unfortunate, too. Like, I think Kohaku's good, too. Kohaku, Nobara, Noelle. Like, that's the top 3, right? And then, like, 4 or 5, I would say Roboco is another good one. And then, like, other than that, besides like One Piece characters like Sakamoto Days, what's her name? I forgot the Chinese girl's name, but she's good too.
Yeah,
I like her, but I think it's too early to say
exactly.
Like, and then with Candy Flurry, like I like the main MC, but
she's a blank slate, really.
Yeah, and then for Witch Watch, I think what's her name is actually pretty good too. Like I actually love her. I would say that would be top 5. Like the main heroine from Witch Watch, Nobara, Noelle, Roboco, and Kohaku, I think, are probably the top 5 current ones right now. But to be fair, that's only because most of the stuff that's out right now is still new. Like, hell, Sakamoto's only 34 chapters. Like,
and it's still done more for my dick getting hard than fucking Spy X Family.
Like, Mashal and Undead are only like 74. Like, Mission Yozuru is 93. Like, most of the stuff in the magazine is still kind of new. So like, it's not really fair to put them up against like shit like established series have been going for like 7 years
Right.
now, like Clover, Doctor Stone, shit like that. But I like going back to my point. The bar for it feels like it's been very, very low.
Well,
And
I
I'm
mean,
just
you had a generation of characters, and this is me being dead serious here. You had a generation of female characters where they were nothing but blank slates to drive the plot. They were never really given any personalization. Like Sakura, for example, didn't really get any good character development until late Shippuden.
And it's funny too because I don't even think Sakura was that bad of a character at the start of Naruto. If I'm being completely, from what I remember, yes, she was like annoying, but she was getting better. Like her moment in like the tuning exam, certain fight against Ino, like
It would have been so much more badass to
just from the stuff that I remember. Like I don't know what the fuck Kishimoto was on.
drugs, lots of them, and I would like to know what kinds.
Most of his cast, even the female cast, wasn't like grand. It's like 100%, but they're still decent at the beginning. Like even Hinata, was let's be real, a fucking stalker the entirety of Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Yeah, and he married his fucking stalker, by the way.
yeah, like Hinata, that Neji fight was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like her moment with Naruto was pretty good. Like there's many chances Kishimoto had to like spread them out, but he just didn't. Like 10-10 was pretty cool. Like the fact that
10-10 had one of the most fucking badass weapons in the entire series. Can we talk about that for a second? Like, fuck you, I throw everything at you.
Like it's funny because Tamari is probably one of the best written characters, like best female characters in the franchise. Like the fact that she just fucked up 10-10, like
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up? That is every dude's fetish in a character.
And then fucked up Shikamaru, they had potential. I just don't know what the fuck Kishimoto was on. So it's just like I definitely understand because there's a lot of people. Unfortunately, I mean, because I know that the magazine mostly caters towards boys, so it makes sense why because they're probably I know girls probably read it too, like there's like shoujo manga magazines that probably cater more towards girls, but boys like that too. Yada yada yada.
Yo, right here.
Whole conversation about the whole like
demographic being fucking
thing,
stupid.
Target demographic thing for boys and girls. Yada 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 yada. But at the end of the day, we totally get it and it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like, I'm not gonna get mad about it. I ain't gonna be a Twitter hoe, right?
No.
But like at the same time, it's just like your bar for characters is like really, really low just because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Orihime didn't really get that much character development. She was just like, Kurosaki-kun!
God, please don't remind me, bro. Oh my God.
Anyway, like, that's the issue, though. Like, kids grew up with a generation of characters like that, and now they want anything but that to be the standard. They want anything but that to be the standard, and you are seeing the less Mary Sue-ish, the less... I hate using that fucking term. The less Mary Sue-ish, the less, like, solely drawn to the main character for the dick. It's a very blunt way to put it, but... like, it's a very blunt way to put it, but it's like how they treated the female, character for a long time. And now you have Nobara, you have Noelle, you have these... Like, I don't need a man to save me character, and they're like, yes, there's a strong woman character being developed in these series, and I'm so glad that girls now are getting a chance to see that.
Yeah, that's true, because it's funny, even back in the 90s, there was still some good, like...
They were good, but they were very...
Yeah, like, it was just, like, the majority beat up the minority, I think, what the issue was. It was, because, like, look at what was popular back then, Yu Yu Hakusho,
Dragon Ball.
Like, I mean, like there wasn't really that many.
Slam Dunk.
Yeah, Slam Dunk. Like there wasn't really that many like women fighters in those series.
See, I know sports series, chat. I know sports series. I just don't fucking read them.
I know Dragon Ball is a big one because most of the Z fighters are male, and then
right.
You have Bulma and like.
Yeah, Bulma was a great role model for women. You cannot fucking deny that.
But I'm saying is it's just like, you know, because like even like Android 18, right? Android 18 is a good.
Mm-hmm.
Good, I guess. But like, there wasn't really
But for
much
the
like.
'90s, they were well-written women.
Yeah, well, I would say like women like you who could like stand toe to toe with like like the Z fighters is what I'm trying to get
Mm-hmm.
at. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the women in the franchise sort of just stopped fighting or caring about fighting in general. Like Chi-Chi, who grew up fighting, was like, I don't want to be a fighter no more. You know, I want to settle down and shit. And that's
I
totally
want to
fine.
settle
You know?
down and lead Goku around by the dick because he's a dumb man.
Yeah, and it's just like even Yu Yu Hakusho, like uh Yusuke's love interest, but she was a badass though. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yusuke was terrified. Like, Yusuke was like terrorizing his whole school, and she would just walk up to that nigga, literally take a cigarette out of his mouth, and say, "Go to class," and beat this nigga's ass whenever time he was doing some delinquent shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was a badass, bro. We ain't gonna knock that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like now that we have that, it's good that we're getting that out there. Just broaden your horizons a bit. You should probably
Mm-hmm.
set the bar a little bit higher for your characters than
Yeah.
just the fact that they're a love interest. Especially since being a love interest isn't a bad thing. Just don't make it your personality. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And the fact that like the only reason why they like Nobura is because the fact that she's not sexualized and the fact that she isn't a love interest is it's just weird. Then what do
Yeah.
you like the character for? Because I mean, there's many characters that fit that description. And I'm gonna be honest, right? Like Urza is hella sexualized, but she's still a pretty good character in the fairy
Right.
tale.
She
So,
also has more character development than almost any fucking character that we've named here.
yeah,
I'm honestly surprised. Like, I shit on Fairy Tale near daily because I got so fucking tired of it being that fan servicey. Like, the power of friendship solves everything because fuck any continuity. Anyway, uh.
so yeah. So back to I know we went on a huge tangent there. Sorry about that, chat. But yeah. So
Oh, if
with
you
the
think I'm editing any of that, you're sorely mistaken.
so Noel's moment there was actually really good
Right.
because like because I love it like that, and the reason why I love the way Tabata like writes his women in this game in this series is because like he doesn't make like he makes them feel
Mm-hmm.
like because when you're growing up, right, and you're in love with someone, right, you it makes you feel like I wouldn't say weak, but it's just like it's embarrassing and all that. And I love the moment. I think we kind of sleep on the moment Tabata wrote with Charlotte too.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte finally admitting because like Charlotte's whole thing was I hate men, men are weak, shit like that. But she's secretly in love with like Yami, but and then like he was
I
like
mean,
she
look
like
at him.
banned
Look at him. Who? How can you not be in love with that man?
she banned like all her members from like dating and shit like that. I think even the manga it said like any male a member that gets added to the brigade is just like not a slave, but they're just like servants. I wouldn't say servants, but they're like they do like like cleaning shit. Like they
Yeah.
don't really do like important shit in like the brigade. Don't quote me on that. I think I don't know if that's a mistranslation or that was a whatchamacallit, a shitty translation. I don't know, but I think I read that somewhere. But now she was like, shit. I have to admit it. She told her entire brigade she's in love with Yami, and she was just like, oh shit, what if my brigade like loses respect for me? And they're just like, oh my god, you're so cute. Secretly I was have dating someone too. Blah blah blah. Like so it's just like I like the fact that Charlotte has come to terms with the fact that she's in love with him, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
make her weak for it, and she grew as a person for it. And like I love that Noelle took that next step, and she was just like, I can't lie to myself anymore. I realize that I'm in love with Asta, but I love the fact that she's like, this is a battlefield too. It's not the time or place to do this. We have to kill. I can't get over the fact
I
that
fucking love that she just went like, and we're not going to just beat him up. We're going to fucking kill her.
Bro, that's just fucking insane. And keep in mind too, right, that Nozel was going to kill Patry before Asta stopped him. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, like the Silva family has no crimes against killing. Okay,
None.
none whatsoever.
So,
Literally none.
oh, just final thoughts on Black Clover here.
So, go ahead, David.
The one thing I want to say here is like all I'm thinking here moving forward is we're going to have one fight that needs to be animated above everything else. I want them to throw their A team on what's about to happen when they do inevitably bring back the anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to put them together, like, cause like I said, Noelle still has her same stage form up, but I'm curious to see how they're gonna fight. Because that Silva team up, bro, is gonna be lit. I love Black Clover team ups. That's one of some of the best things in Black Clover is the team ups, because Tabata damn knows how to make good team up fights. So yeah, I'm kind of curious how. I don't know if they're gonna be able to kill her, but they might be able to send her back to hell, because Magelica's really weak right now. Like she said, she's not at full power. But if that's not at full power, she's still
fucking terrifying.
Yeah. So like. And then another question I'm having, Vanica. We have to know, Vanica's still alive.
Yeah, like I don't want the cute little gremlin to die, okay? I'm looking forward to a lot more fucking art of her devil form being made before she dies. Like,
anything, I could see Vanica. I know people aren't going to like this, unfortunately, but I can see Vanica becoming not necessarily a good guy, but going on as a good. Like, I think Zenon and Dante are too far gone, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
100%.
I literally, because it's funny because Vanica is so out of control that she's like a Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't really care what side she's on, as long as she can have fun. So like, I legitimately feel like, because it's in her character, I legitimately feel like if they offered her a chance just to fight strong people, she would betray her siblings in an instant, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, I get to fight them now? Cool! Murder!
I feel like that could happen, if we're being completely honest.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. It would be 100% in character, too. Yeah, like, final thing I want to say here is, once we get, like, past this fight, I'm curious what we're going to see. Because if we have all three of the primary targets, incapacitated in some regard at that point, what would really be next? Like, we gotta stop Morris from unleashing more hell, but what's the ramifications for all of this going to be? Because at the previous point, like, Asta was about to get executed for being, devil. So all of this has been to kind of protect Asta's life, But having seen what literal hell can happen from the devils, will they even give a shit? Will any of that actually matter?
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, even if they eventually prevent all this from happening, you gotta remember that there's still a lot going on right now. Still have the hierarchy to do. There's still Morris. Don't forget the goat Morris is still down there fucking shit up. Because keep in mind, while they're distracted by Magelica and shit like that, Morris is just chilling at the bottom, just fucking releasing demons out the ass. Like, let's not forget that. But that he's just literally just shipping shit out the ass, bro. Just throwing demons out like he's a fucking Pokemon. No, like he's Demi-Fiend from Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, I had to do it. New Shin Megami Tensei fan, had to make that reference. But, yeah, it's very interesting. So, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, like, 100% here. So, yeah, that was Black Clover. And give